Today's episode of Chat and Chew is sponsored by Marquise Mounts, where TVs float around here.
So you really are comfortable. You come in your house, you paint, frame the wall. I'm definitely more than just the TV mount. The TV mount is what gets me in the house, but the box portion of the truck was like a lab. And I woke up one morning and said, I want to be my own boss. And I would post my work on Facebook. But one person would turn into 3 people, and 3 people would turn into 4 people per week. I went to work, Mountain TVs after work, made $1,000 in the evening after work. And it was then that I realized if I save my money and manage it, I can live off this. Oh yeah, I'm all about it.
Nationwide, more than 20 million children live in a home without a father. We want to change this. We are Fathers Forever, a North Carolina nonprofit promoting responsible fatherhood. We help incarcerated fathers return back into society. We offer 90-day transitional housing, a comprehensive training program, and job opportunities. Visit our website to learn more, afatherforever.com.
Please make sure you follow us on Facebook, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and of course, hit the bell to activate notifications that will remind you when we're on. Please be sure to leave us a comment to let us know how we're doing. We'd love to hear from you.
Welcome to our Chat and Chew broadcast today. I am very, very excited about our guest today, Mr. Marquise Cox of Marquise Mounts. This young gentleman installed TV, filling fans, anything that you need installed in the house, he can come and do. We have a lot in common. He's a business person, as I am. He's also a single father, as I was. He installed a lot of TVs for us as well. He came to our place we was moving, and we had like 20 TVs. He took down and installed. So I'm very excited about him as we continue our theme this month on Black business. I know some of you guys are tuning in on your dinner time, so let's chat and chew while you do.
I met this gentleman a few months ago, actually kind of by accident. We could talk about this later on in the show, but we were getting we needed some TV mounts. And I went with a friend of mine to look at a house, and she told me about this guy who mounts TV. So actually I called the guy, which wasn't you, it was another guy. Then he gave me your number, and I called you, and I am so glad I did. So this month, as we all know, we've been talking about Black History Month, Black Businessmen's Month. So we're going to talk about the business, but me and you have another thing in common. Absolutely. That we were both single fathers. Yeah. And I definitely want to talk about that, and we're going to tie in the business of you mounting. How do you get started? I'm trying to get ahead of myself because
it's okay.
I'm really excited about that.
I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah. But so tell us, Marquise, tell us who you are.
So my name is Marquise Cox. For those of you who don't know me, I feel like everybody does, at least in this area.
Right. Yeah.
I have a huge social media following, 18,000 followers on Facebook.
Wow.
And, I've been mounting TVs now for going on 4 years, and I really enjoyed it. It's been just a way for me to, just be my own boss.
Right.
I get this question every day when I'm in somebody's house. They say, "How did you get started? You know, what made you start Mountain TV?"
Right.
And I always say, well, I tell them, you know, my little story.
And we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. But about me, so I'm 41 and single father.
Okay.
2 kids. My daughter is 20.
Okay.
She's a sophomore at A&T. Super proud of her.
Wow.
I'm sorry, junior now. She just went back this semester, so she's junior at A&T.
Okay.
And I have a son who's 14, and he'll start school Monday.
Wow.
And yeah.
Good. Okay. So, do you live in Wake County? You live in Raleigh?
I did. I just bought a house in Zebulon. So I just moved outside of Raleigh maybe about 3 months ago.
Really? Cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I was in Raleigh for the past 4 years.
Okay. Great. So tell us, just growing up in general, I ask everybody this question, who was one of the most people or the people who inspired you in life to do what you're doing to help shape you as a 41-year-old man now?
My grandfather took me under his wing. My grandfather was a master carpenter, right? Maybe 7th, 8th grade education.
Wow.
But he was real good with his hands. And so when I was 10 years old and when school got out for me across the summer, I would go work with him. So I learned a lot. He would build houses and I'll be right there. And he would have me do basic stuff. And as I got older and more experienced, I did, you know, the more challenging things.
Right.
You know, it started with just doorknobs and maybe baseboard, super basic stuff, paint.
Wow.
And then, you know, it just went into more, you know, where I was framing walls and doing drywall and maybe installing chandeliers and ceiling fans. But over the years, I got really good, just, just working with him. My uncle, who's a contractor, it was like the 3 of us. And, you know, we built houses and I learned a lot. So my grandfather would have to be the person who really inspired me and shaped me into who I am today and why I have my skill set.
Right.
You know, it was, kind of like passed down, inherited that way. So.
Did you grow up in a household with your dad?
Yes. My dad is still alive, still active. He was great, but he was in the military. So I'm a military brat.
Okay.
So he wasn't home a lot.
Right. Yeah.
But, great guy. I mean, I love my dad and my mom. Both are still living.
Wow.
But my skill set is definitely my mom's side, my mom's father, so my grandfather.
Yeah, man, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So you don't just so you really are a carpenter.
I am.
I did not know that about
a lot of people. Don't even say that. They'll say he does more than mount TVs. But he ain't just a TV mounter. I can come in your house and paint and frame a wall. You can get custom built dens, which we often do a lot of custom built dens. I'm definitely more than just a TV mounter. But TV mounter is what gets me in your house.
Right. Okay. So now that you know what we're gonna stick with this.
Yes.
So tell me how you really got into mounting TVs. I know your background is a carpenter, but how did you really get into it?
So prior to TV mounting, I was a surgical instrument repair tech. Okay.
Surgical instrument repair tech.
Yes.
What is that?
This company by the name of Steris out of Durham, North Carolina. They would train you to go in hospitals into the operating rooms, and you would grab the surgical instruments that the doctors used in surgery. So whatever surgical instruments they use over time would get dull, or they might get miscalibrated, or screws would be loose. We would come in, grab those instruments, take them back out to a truck. It was like a box truck, but the box portion of the truck was like a lab. And we would sit back there in the AC and sharpen and recalibrate and sterilize these tools. And basically, I did that maybe 4 months. And I woke up one morning and said, I want to be my own boss. I'm just like, I want to go to lunch when I want to go to lunch. I want to come back when I want to come back. I basically mounted a TV for a friend of mine. I started doing it after work. I would work after I get off from that job. I would start mounting TVs after work. And I would post my work on Facebook. And what I was noticing is 1 to 2 people would inbox me and say, will you come do mine? Will you come do mine? I was like, yeah, I'll come do it. And mind you, at this time, I'm driving around in my personal car, which was a Dodge Charger. I'm mounting TVs out the trunk of my car after work. And 1 person would turn into 3 people, and 3 people would turn into 4 people per week. Next thing you know, I said, it might be something here. So I went and got my LLC. Just somebody actually gave me the company name Marquise Mounts and the logo, and I just ran with it. I got the LLC. I started saving my money. I bought my first van, had my van wrapped by a local business here in Raleigh. Did a really good job. Got my logo and my face on the back of the van, and it just took off. I walked off my job. I didn't give a 2 weeks notice. Basically, what happened was I went to work, Mountain TVs after work, made $1,000 on the evening after work. And it was then that I realized if I save my money and manage it right, I can live off this and I can be my own boss. And I have not, that's been about 4 years ago. I have not had to look back or worry.
Wow.
I mean, talk about a leap of faith, walking off.
Yeah.
And never had to look back.
How did that little job, repairing those surgical tools, prepare you for that? I did it.
Every job I had, because before that I was in pest control. Every job I've had, I was always traveling, and I was in like a customer service type of field of work. So in ways, it just all my past jobs, they made me be very personable and people person. And I was able, to use that skill set and to transfer over into this. So when I'm in your house, I'm very personable and, I'm just very professional. And so I do attribute, my past jobs, they help shape my personality when it comes to this, what I do.
And it's a lot of times it's those little incidents like that motivate us to do. And sometimes it's stuff that we're already doing.
Yes.
And we keep looking outside, or we keep looking for something, and it's right in front of us.
Right. It was right there.
It's right in front of us.
I wish I would have started this so long ago. I cannot wait to, show this skill set to my son. He's 14 now, but where he would be if he would, if he started doing what I'm doing now so young, and where he would be at my age,
Wow.
I've only been in it 4 years, but in that amount of time, I've bought a new car, a new house. I own 5 vans, and I have 2 employees. This is in 4 years.
Wow.
Not even.
Man.
So it's been lucrative and very good for me. It don't come without hard work like most things, though. It's a lot of marketing yourself, getting your name out there, and it's a lot of follow up. Sometimes you got to treat the customer right. Great customer service. But if you're willing to put in the work like anything, it's worth it.
Yeah. When I found out about what you were doing, we had a big house on Pooh Road, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
We had like probably 10, 12 TVs.
Yes.
And we had one guy that was installing our TVs.
Oh.
we had a couple guys that were installing our TVs, and a lot of times those TVs would fall.
I remember. I remember getting there, looking at how terrible the TVs were mounted.
Yeah.
They were almost. I think one TV was mounted with drywall anchors.
Yeah.
No stud mounted, just in the drywall.
Yeah. And so you came that day, and I remember you brought 2 of your vans there, and you guys had those TVs down and took them to the other houses and had them up in a matter of, it took a few hours.
We don't
but and then I'm watching you on video hang a TV so
very efficient,
strong that you hanging
from the mount.
From the mount.
Yes.
It's like
another just marketing tactic that people like to see. When they see that, they say, if he can hang from it, he must really stand behind his work.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the kind of stuff that make people really want to say, wow. And your personality has been, you always, well, at least I've been around you, you light up and you're very personable. And I think your Facebook, post and all the other stuff that people see is one of the things that you have taken advantage of.
Your image, you have to take advantage of. I feel like, I've spent a lot of money in advertising via a billboard. Harris Teeter, like my ad was on the back of the Harris Teeter receipt one time. I've had a TV commercial. I've been on radio. But nothing beats word of mouth. Nothing beats just a simple video you can post on your social media page and get people talking. Like most people that call me, they say, "Oh, my sister or my brother or my coworker told me about you." It's the word of mouth, totally free. You cannot beat it. It's like
and I wanted, and I know that your skill level is. There is something that you told us about that I want to put in my house, the fireplace.
Absolutely.
Oh, when I saw that, I was blown out of the water. I was like, really? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, here in our studio, we had some lights coming off the wall, and I was like, Marquise, come in and tell us how to fix it. And you wouldn't build a box with a TV on it, and I think we could visually show that it goes down. And,
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
that is amazing.
Yes.
And the skill set that your grandfather taught you about putting things together and how you can take, a different situation and just.
I love it. I love what I do. I'm so, I tell people I work from home. It just happens to be your home.
Wow. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
I love it. I mean, I take pride in it. I'm comfortable, and especially when the homeowners like you guys are just so comfortable to work around and a pleasure to be around. It makes me do an even better job because now I'm extra comfortable. There's no. I mean, I ain't never been really like a nervous guy or anything anyway. So
yeah. So what else you do? I mean, you do more than just TV mounts. I know you put ceiling fans in our house. You put what was that? I had never seen a ceiling fan like that.
It was it an LED ceiling fan?
The one that kind of chandelier.
Chandeliers.
Yeah.
Oh, chandeliers are super popular. Most people haven't heard of them or do not know about them.
We didn't know about
I tell them, and then they'll order and say, "Oh my God,
we love it. We love
yes,
it. Yes.
So a chandelier is going to have like the retractable blades that kind of come in, so it looks just like a chandelier when it's not in use, and you press a button and the blades kind of flip out, and then you got a whole fan. Really cool piece of technology and very functional and very I guess just nice to look at.
Yeah. And you do the locks too, or you put the locks on
Yes, smart locks. Most anything a new homeowner might need, we'll put your curtain rods up, shower heads, like smart locks, blinds. If anything that falls under the realm of a handyman.
Wow.
That's what we do. We come in and get it done.
Do you run into people things every day that you have never done before?
No, not really. I feel like most people, 90% of the people will call me because it's usually about a TV, and they may ask about it, and I just feel like it's so much I can do. I may not want to do it. I've been asked to change out the faucet, like in the kitchen, so I can do that. Sometimes you do run into some plumbing issues, but I won't do nothing outside of my realm, or if I feel like
your expertise,
outside of my expertise, I'll just tell them, call a contractor or professional. But I love, TV mounting is my go-to. Yeah.
So where do you see yourself at the next 3 or 4 years?
So now, after buying my first house, I would like to buy, I guess, like a rental property. I'm just trying to get to where the income is residual. And, I guess that's what everybody does. Everybody buys property.
Right.
You try to be a landlord, after you're a homeowner.
Right.
So that's the goal for me now.
Right.
And while expanding, in this area as well, because TV Mountain, I mean, it just seems like it's not going nowhere no time soon. Everybody wants their TVs on the wall, especially those custom build outs that we do. People love those. So.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you got 3 or 4 vans now?
Yes. 2 guys are Chris helps me out of Wake Forest, and Tate is I'm from Greenville, and I have a guy in Greenville who covers the whole 252 area for me. So any calls that come in, they're in his area, they're directed to him. And
wow,
yeah,
that's amazing, man. Yeah. We're gonna get you over here. You're gonna build our studio. We're gonna wall back there.
I'm excited.
We're gonna build about that. And so the other thing is this one of those skills that you're gonna eventually teach?
Yes, I would love. I get that question a lot. Even I would say a couple of days ago, I had a lady inbox me, 51 years old. She's a truck driver. She says, Marquise, are you going to teach your skill set? She says, I'm 51. And she says, I do trucking, and it's very taxing on the body, and I just would love to learn what you do. And so, at some point, I am going to just try to open up a shop or a class. Just try to teach this to people, because to me, it's very easy. It's not difficult to learn anyway.
Yeah, but some people obviously don't know how to do it right.
Right, obviously. But it's something you can learn. It's once I feel like once you see and do it one time, you'd be surprised how easy it is to use a stud finder and a tape measure.
We had a guy that put a big TV on our wall in one of the offices, and I came in one day and that TV was like this.
Ooh.
Because the stud, I mean, apparently he didn't put it in the stud, and he probably used the wrong screw.
Yep.
And the sheetrock started coming apart. And you're talking about a big TV that would eventually hit the ground. It would have been a busted up TV.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to call another guy came in. He really just almost just as worst job that he did because he
Oh
drove.
my God.
He put the whole, but he got it secured.
Yeah.
But he messed up the wall. When
Yeah.
we took the TV down, we had like 10
holes in the wall. I see that a lot. I do that a lot. I see where, the homeowner try to go the cheap route or something, and
Right.
it's a mess. And I got to come in and work, which we hate to do, work behind somebody and try to fix it. But, it happens.
Yeah.
You live and you learn, right?
You learn. Okay, yeah. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, we're gonna get you here to do some more work. Now, let's shift the gears a little bit.
Okay.
How did you become? What is your definition of fatherhood?
So for me, I'm a single father of two. And how that came to be, let me just tell you how that came to be. Well, my son and my daughter initially lived with their mom, okay? My son, as he got older, maybe about 8 years old, he just decided, I want to live with my dad. He basically went to his mom and was like, I want to live with my dad. And he was cutting up in school until he got his way. And so one day his mom called me and was like, look, I can't keep going through the, I guess, she was at the schoolhouse every day.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, well, yeah, tell me to come on. Because I had a 2-bedroom apartment, won't nobody use another bedroom. And that's how that came to be. He's been like awesome ever since. Like that just made his whole life.
Wow, that's amazing.
So, and then my daughter, she was dating a young man that that her mom didn't approve of. And they kind of bumped heads over. And, I've always been the more laid back parent. Mom is a little bit more strict than I am. I've been kind of laid back. And my daughter is so smart, and I would tell her mom, I was like, she's going to go to college and forget about that young man because she was dating a guy in high school. But mom couldn't see past. And so they had a falling out. And then boom, next thing you know, I got custody of my daughter. So yeah, they've been with me for quite some time now. And they love it. So we're all cordial as parents.
Right.
We co-parent well.
Right.
But that's how I came to be. But I would say, my definition of fatherhood for me is working to, a provider, a protector.
Right.
I'm a Christian, so I do have those religious beliefs, but definitely being a provider, and just making sure they have most of everything they want and just about everything they need.
Right.
Just about.
Right. What were some of the challenges?
I would say when I took custody of my kids, I had a newfound respect for single moms. I'm telling you what, especially when they're younger, they tend to need more. And I would say the responsibility that they have as it relates to school. Oh my God. I have a newfound respect for single moms. When they get sick, just the whole doctor's appointment thing. I'm so glad that their mom and I are cordial because she still handles that part when they get sick and she does the whole doctor's appointment stuff.
Right.
Those challenges, they really open my eyes to why it's important to, if you're going to have kids, be married and try to do it the right way, not out of wedlock.
Right.
Ooh, it's a mess.
So now you're a handyman.
Yes.
Did you know how to cook?
I don't. Not a cook now. I can do anything with some tools.
So we got a lot in common. Okay. So, my story is, some people have heard my story. When I became a single father, my kids were 7, 9, and 11.
Okay.
So, I grew up in, I call DC, which is deep country, not District of Columbia.
Okay.
Deep country in Benson.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I grew up, my mom took care of us. She cooked. The boys was out in the field. Mm-hmm. The girls was in the house. Mm-hmm. And then when I got out of high school, I went straight to college. When I got to college, I had 3 hots in the cot. So I didn't have to cook.
Yeah.
I got out of college in May. I got married in July, 2 months later. So I never learned how to cook. Cooking was never a part of my chore list to do. My mom took care of me, the school took care of me, and now my ex-wife took care of me. And she was a stay-at-home mom. Oh. And we had 3 kids. So I never had to cook. When I come home, the cook she was a good cook.
Yeah.
The food would be right there. All I had to do was eat and occasionally wash dishes. But that's it. Yeah. I had to do nothing. So I remember that Sunday afternoon, I'm standing in my living room, and we have, my ex-wife and I had to come up with an agreement that the kids would go stay with me, until she found another place, all that good stuff. And I'm realizing that at 7, 9, and 11, I'm sitting in my living room, and it hit me about 3 o'clock that morning. I don't know jack about cooking. I don't know what I'm gonna do about cooking. I've never cooked. My daughter at 7 years old probably knew more about cooking
Wow.
than I did.
Wow.
So I'm getting there, and I remember we had some spaghetti that night. So I went to the store and got some hamburgers and did the hamburgers really good, got it all brown. And I put the noodles in the pot. I watched my mom do this. I watched my ex-wife do this. Put the noodles in the pot and watch it come to a boil.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm ready to eat.
Yeah.
So what I didn't know was to drain the grease from the hamburger before I poured it in the bottom of the noodles. I didn't do that. So I just picked up the grease with a frying pan and they poured it all in the. It was about that much grease over the noodles. And my daughter is 7 years old. She's like, "Daddy, we can't eat that."
Oh my God.
And so we had a lot more challenges like that. And I remember the first time we made hamburger helpers. I got the hamburger, I did good, but I didn't have no milk. My daughter was like, "Daddy, we can't."
Oh my God. So it was the cooking challenge.
It was the cooking challenges. And so we ate a whole lot of chicken pre-cooked, like Hardee's.
Yep.
Back in the day, you could get 12 pieces of chicken for $4.99 from Church's.
Yep. A box still can.
Yeah. So cooking was a big challenge for me. I did have a couple of meals that I kind of put together.
Yeah.
And then I would go to the store and get a lot of vegetables, and I know how to warm that up. And then I would go get pre-cooked chicken. And we'll have, my kids are grown now, but they say they don't eat a whole lot of chicken because we ain't fried.
I ate so much. DoorDash is my best friend. I don't cook. I'm quick to go on that app and have the food delivered.
Yeah. So the cooking was never really. And now, now that we married again, I still don't cook. I've never heard. But as a single father, then all of my kids went to college and went to school and different things. And now I'm an empty nester.
Yeah.
Of course, I didn't cook then.
Right.
So I'm going out to eat every night.
Yep.
One of my favorite places is K&S.
K&S?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I can get a lot of vegetables there. Yeah. I go there 4 times a day.
Oh.
4 times a week if I need to.
I love it.
So that's kind of one of my challenges was. The other thing is, which I can, people when I first became a single father, they used to pat me on the back and say, "You're doing such a good job." And I was like, and I like you just said, I have a newfound respect for single women who've been doing this forever and ever and a day. And so so you can pat me on the back a little bit, but all these women who've been doing this, because they got to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning when little Jimmy gets sick.
Yeah.
You got to, and you got to get up, and when they call in sick, you got to call in for work and take off and be there for them, and so it's I have a new respect for single parents, and I tell. So, what was some advice would you give to a single man that's just coming into this, or perhaps maybe been doing this for a while and struggling?
Struggling. I'm trying to see. It does take a village. So keep, mending relationships if you have broken them with family members. Because it definitely, that's what got me by. I would say, my mom reaching in to help, and even my dad. But just having family members and friends, you learn who your friends are. Who, when you can't do it and you can call on somebody that's going to help you. I think definitely mend and keep relationships with great people.
Right.
Because you're gonna need help.
Yeah. Did you receive child support from?
No, I don't put on child support.
Okay.
I can.
Right. Yeah.
It's I'm thanking God that I'm blessed enough to be able to.
You don't have to.
I don't have to.
Right.
And she's a good mom. Still,
Yes.
We just didn't work. We got together early.
Right.
So we're not mad at each other. We just like I said,
the marriage didn't work out. Yeah. So one of the reasons why I started Father Forever is because, I see a lot of fathers who are, I grew up in a household with my dad. I had with my siblings and I had the best dad a kid could have. He wasn't perfect, but he was a good man. He showed us my life is who I am today because of my mom and my dad.
That's awesome.
And then I grew up with a good dad. So I'm a retired social worker. So a lot of the clients that come to my desk, that come to my office, when I did the biosocial, that box of fathers was unchecked. They didn't have a dad. So they're in my office now with often, that was one of the common denominators. But now they got substance abuse. They got anger management stuff. They got all this kind of stuff. And a lot of it comes from the absence of father.
Absence of father. Mm-hmm.
And then I became a single father. So I got all the best of all three worlds. So I was like, and I couldn't have put that together. It's got to be a God somewhere weaving all this in together. And when I was inspired to start Father Forever, I brought all that history together under one umbrella. And so a lot of our classes we talk about is, being a father. What is the definition of a father? And you just said it: a provider, a caretaker, a protector. A father the word father comes from the word originate. We originate. Stuff starts with us. And if so, what would you say to a farmer who go out and get a garden, he plow it, he cultivate it, and then he plants it, and then he leaves and don't take care of it? What would you say to that farmer? He's a lousy farmer.
Right.
So there's a lot of men out there. You started a family. You have some kids, and you decided you're going to walk away from that. So my responsibility and my joy, Father Forever, is to go get those men and say, hey, come back to your garden. This is your responsibility. Exactly. This is your garden. Now, what's the difference between a forest and a garden? They're all going to grow up. A forest there's no rhyme and reason. It all grows up together.
Yeah.
A garden is people take care of it.
Yeah.
But they're all going to grow up.
Yeah.
And so when we leave our kids, it's like leaving them in a forest. However, the forest is sometimes one of the beautiful places in the world.
Absolutely.
So just because you grew up without the dad doesn't mean your life is ruined.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
That you go, for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
It's not that at all. But if you do start a family, you just can't leave your kids out there for somebody else to raise.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, and that is our choice. That is our goal, to go out and get these fathers in and say, hey,
I love it.
You can do it. I've been a single father. It's not easy. Again, like you said earlier, I have a newfound respect for a single mom who's been doing this forever and ever and ever and a day. And it's no easy task.
Not at all.
Yeah. So what are some other challenges that you had as a father?
I would say I definitely, the cooking thing was huge. That is still ongoing.
I still
That's still going. That's my biggest vice. I know I give DoorDash. Oh my God, I'm in shock.
Oh really? Wow.
I give them, because I don't cook. I mean at all. I mean it's been. We even ate. We eat out every day. I don't know where the money comes from, but we just gonna something that we do.
You have to do.
That is my biggest challenge. Cooking.
Yeah. Had we had DoorDash back in the day, that would have been my go-to.
Yeah,
that would have been my go-to.
That is probably my biggest challenge. Now that my kids are older, it gets easier to some degree as they get older. They get a little more self-independent or whatever.
Yes.
But I think having a daughter in college and looking after her, that's I would say that's kind of challenging because even though she's older, she still needs you to look after her. Yeah. So like her car insurance or the rent at her apartment that she's staying in while she go to school.
Right.
Or just little stuff that she needs to just get her by.
Right.
So outside of that, and that they're a joy, it's a blessing. You just gotta thank God that you're able to.
Yeah, as my kid got older, my oldest son started cooking a little more.
Okay.
My middle son, he didn't care too much about cooking. My oldest son started cooking. He would cook me breakfast and bring it to me. And
he liked it.
Yes. But my daughter, now she's growing up and she's learning how to cook. I mean, you said earlier, it takes a village.
It does.
So my family, my sisters and my brothers and all my church family was very, very involved in me helping be a single father. It made it much, much easier. So now my daughter is learning how to cook. So she's in the kitchen cooking now. So the challenge is now is kind of falling by the wayside because I don't have to do it anymore.
When my daughter come home from college, I love when she's home because she's gonna cook.
She's gonna cook.
Exactly. When she leaves, they're gonna do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah. So that was the challenge, and that worked out too good. And then both of my sons left One went to the military, one got married. It was just me and my daughter for another 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And, we would eat out a lot, but at the same time, I would go to the grocery store. She'll pick out what she wants. And I come home and, when she come home from school, I'm at work. When I come home, the food will be on the table. She's already cooked. So that was that.
Nice. Yeah.
But the first 5, 6, 7 years,
I get it.
that was a challenge. Yeah. Wow. So, in essence, fatherhood is one of the most important things.
Absolutely.
And in society, and the absence of fathers is, I heard somebody say, it's like an epidemic. It would be, if it was a disease, it would be an epidemic. It would be disastrous. The fatherlessness.
I definitely agree.
Because
we've seen it firsthand.
We've seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
We've seen the devastation of. At the same time, we have seen now a lot of men who were not taking care of their kids are now coming in and taking care of the kids. The success rate, thank God, that we've had over the last 15 years is mind-blowing, because these guys realize, and sometimes it don't take a lot. Stephen Covey talks about a paradigm shift, your perception. And part of our responsibility is to get these men to change their perception about fatherhood and about them as a father and who they are. Once we get that to happen, you see the behavior change.
Yep.
He talked about see, do, get. What you see, what you do, and what you get. If you want to change what you get, you got to change what you do. But first of all, you got to change what you see. But if you don't change what you see, you're never going to change what you get. You're never going to change the results.
Definitely, it's the mindset.
It's the mindset.
Yeah.
So we teach these guys how to change their mind. And so I guess we're going to have to close in a few minutes. But I really want to, say to the young people, young and old, you talked about that lady who was 51 years old calling you about, COVID did a lot of bad things, and it ain't going away.
Mm-mm.
But it also gave us some ways to look at things differently.
Absolutely.
And I think people like you who have take something very common as a mountain TV, and apparently you're making pretty good. If the bank can give you a loan for a house, and you can't. You got to have a track record of some income coming in. They want to see 2 years.
2 years worth of income.
Exactly, and you got band finance.
Yeah.
So apparently you're doing pretty good financially.
I'm doing all right.
So so I want you to encourage people. How would you encourage people to get out and start going with their heart, their spirit of entrepreneur, their creative juices? How do you motivate them to get that flowing?
Well, hopefully you have some interest in something that you already may do or want to do, or if you think you can't do it, that's what it'd be. It'd be the most simplest thing. And I would say, start it. You will be surprised who's going to support you. It will be the biggest strangers, will be your biggest supporters. It won't be like people you know. It's going to be people you don't know who's going to support your business and your ideas. So I just want to encourage you, for one entrepreneur who's been doing this almost 4 years. I was told not to do it. My children's mom said, you're gonna quit your job and you're going to start Mountain TVs? How you going to pay your rent? And do you know she owed me $2,000 right now to this day? But you just got to go out there and put your all into it, okay? And you will be surprised the amount of support you will get from, strangers. So, if you have an idea, if you've been thinking about it, you've been sleeping on it, and you haven't done it yet, I'm here to encourage you to go ahead and do it. Like, don't wait. Because if it come across my Facebook page, I'm going to support you.
Right. Yeah, good. Yeah, so, man, I am very excited. Marquise, thank you a lot for coming. And we're going to do this again. We're going to put some more panels together. And we're going to be doing some fatherhood conferences that's going to be coming up.
Okay.
Different locations. So, it's called Authentic Fatherhood Summit, like 4.5 hours. And I want you to come and be a guest speaker one day and talk to these young guys about, these men about, being self-sufficient.
Yes.
Work your full-time job if you can, but start picking up little things on the side that's going to help to provide for your family.
Ain't nothing wrong with working for somebody, but be putting a little bit to the side for your own, maybe you have some dreams or a goal, that's it. That's what you got to do. Work for somebody. Great businesses and corporations are built on the backs of great employees, but you want to put a little bit to the side for yourself, invest in yourself in that way.
Right. Yeah.
And,
Okay.
It'll do what it's supposed to do over time.
Well, good. Again, thanks again for coming, sir.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you again.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But what an amazing interview we had. Can you imagine these guys making a good living, mounting TVs on the wall? We had a lot of good connections. He's a single father, I was a single father, and those challenges that we had, both of us, John Cooking was one of the challenges that we both had. But I really enjoyed talking with this young man. He's very creative. And I'll share this video with your friends and those that maybe looking for stuff else to do, because a lot of times we have the thing that is right in front of us that we kind of look over. You can take that and make it your own and possibly make a lot of money with it. If you need a TV mounted, call Mr. Cox. If you need a ceiling fan, this guy's very good. He's very creative. He does a lot of stuff. He'll come to your house. He'll do a good job. He's a very personal person. He's a customer service is great. He comes to our office. He has installed TVs in all of our houses, even in our personal houses. He has been installing TVs in our office. This guy's really good at what he does. So call him if you need a TV mount, if you need a ceiling fan or locks on your door. Just call him up. And also follow him on Facebook. This guy's got I think it's 18,000 Facebook fans. So follow him. You'll see a lot of his work on Facebook. Again, congratulations. Thank you, Mr. Cox, for coming and being part of the broadcast. And we'll take care of you. We'll see you guys there. Here's 3 ways you can support our Dads at a Distance initiative. Give a copy to a family member, our friend. Donate monthly, a book monthly, 5 books monthly, how many books you want to do monthly donation. Reverse book signing, your church, your business. You can make a donation go to our website at www.afatherforever.com and go to our PayPal at Fathers Forever. Our Cash App is $Fathers Forever. Make your donation today. Please include in the note section, include DAAD. Again, include in the note section DAAD.
If you or someone you know would like to be a part of the show, please visit our website at www.afatherforever.com or call us at 919-779-9905. The Chat and Chew podcast streams Thursdays at 8 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook. To schedule a reverse book signing or to find out more information about how you can become a part of the programs you heard us mention today, please be sure to stop by our website as well.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Father Forever University. My name is Glenn Warren, and I will be your instructor. Father Forever University is a remote learning experience where we take our 12-week class, and we meet here every Thursday night from 6 until 7, and we talk about fatherhood. We talk about domestic violence. We talk about where your child support money is going. We teach classes about fatherhood and how important it is to be in your child's life. So these 12 weeks is going to be very important for you guys to understand and the concept of fatherhood and what we're trying to teach you. Father Forever University is broken down into 12 weeks, and you can start at any time during those 12 weeks. The key to it is finishing those 12 weeks. Every lesson is in lecture format, where you listen to that lecture, and then on Thursday nights, we discuss that lecture. The Thursday night discussion is where your homework will be due. Part of your homework assignment every Thursday night is to, one, we're going to ask you the question, what did you learn? And the second question, how am I going to apply what I learned? We also have specific assignments for each lesson in the notes below. This has been an introduction into Father Forever University. Now let's get started in lesson 1.